here's the fun part. We call this parkour Dallas-Fort Worth Roofing Edition. This is a low roof, and what you don't want to do is go, whoa! We're gonna let Will go down first. He's not the roofer, so we don't want him to get hurt.
You want to hold that?
Yeah.
I need both hands.
I'm gonna video you though. Since we're on camera, you get your chance. He's saying a prayer. I said 1, 2, because I've seen him climb a ladder.
Let's go.
We're ways up too.
I know.
You can tell this ain't his everyday job.
No, sir.
And everybody's standing around watching to see if they get to see something crazy that we can put on YouTube. It's my turn now, let's go. Now our social media guy's getting out of control. He climbs on one roof, and now he's trying to figure out how to climb the walls out here. And you do things out of the ordinary. You know, we have a team member that has a family member that's having health issues right now, serious health issues. So, you know, here at SWAT, we all jump into, you know, we're a big team, so we all jump in to assist any way we can. So we've had to pick up his schedule. So the reason I'm out in the field today trying to pick up some of the loose ends and pieces, which that's what we have to do sometimes. Sometimes you got to crawl back and get your hands dirty and not be scared of that. So, you know, it's just work at the end of the day. It's part of the journey, and you have to accept that. But, you know, when I do things, I always look at opportunity. And I remember several years ago, I landed a really good job, and it was a, you know, $3.5 million project. And people are like, man, how'd that go? Like, you went out there, like, how were you lucky enough to talk to the right people? I always think about that. And yes, it was a very profitable project. But what I think about is people didn't know that I had went out to that project for 7 years and done repairs and met people and helped them out consistently for 7 years and done a lot of that pro bono. And people are like, man, you're lucky to land a project like that. Well, you wouldn't have been saying that all the 7 years that I went out there buying material, supplying labor for free, hoping one day it would turn into a big opportunity. And it took 7 years for that to happen. And yes, it was a great opportunity, but that would have never happened had I not put myself and our organization in that position. And a lot of people wouldn't have done what I've done. You know, going out there in the rain, cold weather, you know, and doing the things that I did in order to make that opportunity happen. But because I kept adding value to that relationship, when it come time for them to do that $3.5 million project, do you think there was any question of who they were going to use?
Nope.
There was no question. We didn't even discuss pricing and everything. It was like, hey, can you get this project done? Give me the time frame of when you're going to do it. Get it done and send us a bill. It's basically how it went. People are like, you're so lucky that happened. 7 years went in to creating that opportunity. So don't always think that, let me add value and you expect something immediate in return. It doesn't work that way. You add value and you walk away from that situation and know that you did the best that you could to insert all your value and your knowledge into that situation, whether it's personal, whether it's business, professional, none of that matters. You be the best version of you and insert yourself into that idea or that concept. And then when the opportunity arises, the other people are going to be like, man, that guy added so much value. How can we give back? You know what? It took 7 years, and now we want to give back. And they did, and they gave back in a really big way. So you never know how it's going to happen, but always just add value to everybody's life that you can, and you never know when or how that impact is going to be returned to you. And if it never is, it's okay. You're always the best version of you every day when you wake up, and that's what I recommend to people. Be the best version of you and share that with everybody around you. Guys, we're here to do, it's funny, look at where we're at. A wellness clinic and health spa, like a med spa. Right. So we're here to do a wellness check, but not on people. We're gonna do a wellness check on the roof.
On the wellness
On a wellness center. Yeah, we're doing a wellness check on a wellness center.
Right.
So this ought to be fun. Let's go check it out.
A little higher up a climb there, sir.
Yeah, we could have them unlock it, and we could just climb up right there, but we don't want to disrupt their business. So we're just gonna
Climb halfway.
Yeah, put our ladder up there and get after it. A lot of people don't know, most of these newer buildings will have a slight angle, about a 2-degree angle on it, so it's kind of like a dome, so the water will shed off of the roofing system. A lot of the old school roofs are completely flat, and even some of the newer ones are still flat, but what happens is these flat roofs are like carpet that is seamed together. Like, that's the best way I can explain it. When you take carpet and butt it up to a house and you have a room that's really wide and one piece of carpet doesn't roll out and go from side to side, and you have to, you know, you see them lay down the tape and they weld the stuff with the carpet and they glue it together, right? That's basically what they do on a roof system like this, because they can't make one sheet that's really, really wide.
Right.
So you have robotics that will put the two pieces together and seam them, and it heat welds that material together and creates a seam there that is heat welded, and no water can penetrate it. That's the idea behind it. The problem is it's not supposed to hold water. Well, it's flat roofing, so it's like a roadway. If a roadway is completely flat and water sits on it, it's gonna puddle somewhere. So many of these structures with these flat roofs, the water puddles. Well, if you look at the roofing system instructions and what they say, they're not made for puddling water. That water is supposed to shed off of that roof, but because it's flat, it will just sit there. And what happens, these roofing systems start to break down. And when they start to break down, they start leaking, and we have to chase the leaks. And that's what's going on here. So that's why we're out here today. That versus a residential shingle. Residential houses are like this. Some are very flat, some have a steeper slope, right? And they are shingles, and they are overlapped like stairs. So imagine taking water at the top of the stairs and pouring it down. It's just gonna run all the way down to the bottom of the stairs. It's shedding water. That's what typical residential roof systems do. Versus these roof systems on commercial properties, they're completely flat. So water's just sitting up here, but we need to make sure it runs into gutters, which they call on commercial buildings scuppers. So they capture the water and they get off of the roof system. Too many of these flat roofs, they look good, they're simple, they don't have these big archways and all this crazy stuff going on. They're completely flat, and you would think it'd be easy. The problem is these roof systems are not made to be completely flat because they're seamed together. And imagine taking a piece of plastic and putting two of them together and then trying to create a swimming pool. That's a difficult thing to do. That's challenging. And so many of these roof systems, they build them where they're flat because they have these huge warehouses, but the instructions will even tell you when you weld those together, you can't have ponding water on these roof systems. But the buildings, they're made for ponding water. So you have to deal with it, and that's what we're doing here. Here we go, the scary part. It's a white flat roof. As you can see, these seams will start leaking. You can see a wrinkle in the system right there of drains that are on the flat roof system. That's what this is. You can see where the water is trying to exit the building, so to speak. And then you can see where it's ponding, it's building up. Okay, you never want to see ponding water like this. So all of this water that's sitting here now is causing this roof to leak. It should be running to the drains over there, which it's not doing properly. So that's definitely going to have to be fixed. But as it continues to rain, this water builds up, and look, it's going, you can see by the stained area, it's going right up this seam and it's leaking inside the building. And they're having to stop their business and move people around to be able to operate. and it's costing them a lot of money by just having this simple little roof leak, because these systems are not made to have this ponding water. That's why you have the drains over there and the drains over here. This is supposed to be shedding water away from this area. Instead, it's holding water. So it's definitely something we're gonna have to take a look at and get this repaired so they don't have a stoppage of business down here, because it's costing them a whole lot of money.
It's high up, you know, it's got
Yeah.
why they would have that thing set like that.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Make any sense. So you get that much water on here, that's going to be so much weight that it's going to end up getting the joists to start bending.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all why they put that on there. Basically, they created a dam in the river. They're blocking the water, which is probably one of the reasons we're having some backup over there, because they've created a dam here, and what's it doing? It's collecting all this debris and it's backing the water up to this area over here, which is, it's still holding water, and it's been days since we've had rain.
The water would have to get over 5 inches just to go down this drain.
Yeah.
We'd have a drain there, but that drain is uphill.
Doesn't make any sense, and look, it doesn't have any debris or anything. So that wasn't the smartest decision, whoever put that there. See how simple that problem could have been solved? Just like that. But they hired somebody who doesn't understand the purpose of roofing systems, and they put that up there, and by putting that up there, there's no ventilation or anything here, so it's basically just creating a debris pile here, debris field, and it's backing water up on the roof, which is causing a leak.
Why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is. It's me. You waiting on.
Now that we've done all the work, it's time to enjoy a nice hot meal. Time's barbecue, baby. That's the spot. That's what we're doing for lunch. So the guys said, hey man, you actually put in some work today. I've done something for a change. So they said, let's go to lunch. I said, Heinz it is. Some of the best barbecue in town, so let's go eat. After you, sir. Enjoy the vittles.